Quote, "Whereas Almighty God has created the mind free, we are free to declare, and do declare, that the rights hereby asserted are of the natural rights of mankind." On this day, in January the 16th, 1786, our government removed from Williamsburg then, and through the efforts of my good friend, my colleague, my successor in the highest office, James Madison, our bill for religious freedom was finally approved, ratified, resolved, made law, the first of its kind in human history, protecting and defending the liberty of the human mind.
Great, brother. You good?
Well, I am so excited to celebrate Religious Freedom Day here at the Valentine and the museum, because this is really where our freedom begins, is the freedom of conscience. If we don't have that, we can't sustain any other freedom.
I think Religious Freedom Day is an opportunity to lean into our values as Virginians and as a country, and particularly at a time when folks are feeling polarized and minority religious groups are experiencing marginalization and discrimination. I think it's important to look back and really lift up a critical document in our Commonwealth's history.
It will help us to ponder, to reflect on what we're giving, what we have, and more importantly, to recommit to religious freedom.
We assume that that's just the way it always has been and it ought to be. And we have to remind ourselves that unless we are conscious of it and work for it, those kind of rights could be lost.
Something in the Jewish practice that really rings true with me that I was thinking about today is that we're all created in the image of God, B'Tselem Elohim. And so that opportunity to reflect on that and see all of us in support of that together has been wonderful, and to see everyone learning more each day through the center here has been really great too.
On this very spot here in Shockoe Slip, where the Valentine First Freedom Center sits, this is where the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom was signed by the Virginia General Assembly. The Statute of Religious Freedom was the precursor to the rights and freedoms enshrined in the First Amendment and the foundation of the principle of the separation of church and state. In our city's history, enslaved Africans, living and breathing human beings, no different than you and me, were brought and sold in Shockoe Bottom, just steps away from where we stand here today. After this statute of religious freedom was enacted, not before. That's why places like the Valentine First Freedom Center and our ongoing efforts to promote healing, education, atonement in our city are so important, not to the understanding of our past, but in informing and educating our future citizens as well.
It's a pleasure to be able to bring visitors and to recommend to visitors that they come to the Valentine and to the First Freedom Center to realize how important this is.
Well, history is significant. Religious freedom and the history that surrounds that is significant. This displays that.
And the Valentine is to tell Richmond's story and its role in developing our country and our notions of democratic freedom and religious tolerance.
So as the Valentine does with all history, it's extremely important on this day to emphasize that freedom.
As one of our faith leaders said, it needs to be lived. So knowing is not enough, and it also needs to be experienced and lived. So we are here to together to share this, to connect with each other, and to promote and to live that freedom.